been a pretty a divisive topic in the Jaguars running back room with Travis Etienne, Brashal Tootin, right, and Tank Bigsby. And Tank Bigsby has been the talk of camp, the talk of Twitter. People are victory lapping so far, and I don't know, Coach. Pretty crazy to me. Tank Bigsby did not have a single snap with the ones last night. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you Tank Bigsby won't have a role. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I won't have shares of Tank Bigsby, especially in
That's
deeper.
not. There's no way this is possible. X tells me otherwise. Right?
The thing is this, Coach, though. Trevor Lawrence and the starters were out there for 12 total snaps. Travis Etienne had all 12 of those snaps, and he ran 7 routes. 7 routes. Carried the ball twice, had 1 total target. That is significant in my opinion. I don't want to make too much of it. He is the veteran, of course, but if Tank Bigsby, every time the 11 on 11 periods start on Twitter, the beat reporters say Tank Bigsby gets the first carry in 11 on 11s. It's consistent. We've heard it all offseason. But when the games actually start and the starters are out there, Travis Etienne plays every single snap next to Trevor Lawrence, and he also ran 7 routes. That's pretty significant to me. And this is something that I am really, really buying into, and I am very, very interested in. It's going to be a lot of mouths to feed in this offense. The running backs are going to be rotated. There's going to be a lot of snaps going and splitting between all the running backs. But that is significant to me, Coach. Do you think I'm overreacting here? Do you think is there a lead guy in this house in your opinion? And if so, who would it be?
No, I think you're 100% right. We tweeted out a couple of days ago, like all eyes are on the Jacksonville Jaguars running back room, and they should be. You know, you're right. All I have seen is Tank Bigsby, and now Etienne is out there. You know, there was a lot of momentum a couple months ago for Tootin, and we thought he would be possibly taking over this backfield as well. Clearly, that's not the case. Even though he did play well last night, he's not going to overtake Etienne or Bigsby anytime soon, barring injury. So, yeah, I mean, Etienne owners are rejoicing right now because they thought they had nothing left, you know, and now it's like, oh, man, this guy might be all right after all.
Yeah, the one thing I will note, and maybe that's throwing a little cold water on myself and maybe you, is Bigsby did get all the snaps on the second drive, but it wasn't with the starters. So something to note there. Maybe it's a rotation thing where it's, hey, we're going to give Etienne. He's going to get all the first drive, to get the running back in a rhythm. Then we're going to go with Bigsby on the second one. Maybe Bigsby does start with, the starting guys next week. I don't know if Trevor Lawrence is going to be out there, or any of the starters will be out there because, preseason's so wonky and so weird, but it also could be a little bit of a case of that. But I would just say it's encouraging for Travis Etienne, who a lot of people are extremely down on this year, especially, and I don't blame them, right? Having a pretty down year last year, not really meeting those expectations that many had for him. I mean, this is a guy, Travis Etienne, who was drafted in the top 3 rounds last year, and he completely burned you. Right now, Travis Etienne, 94th overall off the board, running back 35. He goes ahead of Jordan Mason, by almost 20 spots, who's the next running back off the board. I don't know if I have that big of a gap between him and Jordan Mason, but he does go behind Javonte Williams, who I would prefer Travis Etienne just because he has more upside at this point.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Where's Bigsby going?
Bigsby's going a little bit farther down. So Bigsby's going pick 138, RB 43. So he's about 40 spots down. And I think that's significant, right? Bigsby is a guy, Coach, who, if I have a running back room where there is a lot of ceiling, I might go with Bigsby for a floor play for protection because he likely will get a decent amount of that early down work. But Etienne is probably a guy that if I have rock solid starters, I would prefer Etienne over Bigsby just because I'm okay getting burned by Etienne at that point because I'm not depending on him that much. Bigsby could be a guy that you're like, hey, you know what? I need 60 yards in a cloud of dust and maybe one catch, and hopefully he falls into the end zone for a touchdown and gets you 12 points on the week. I think that's usually what we're going to see by him. Where Etienne is going to catch a lot of passes, and I think that his upside is a little bit higher in this offense. But that's how I view it. I could be completely wrong here, but is that how you view it, and we're not even talking about Brashal Tootin, who did look pretty good when he got the snaps, but it was again against the backups. But he's going to factor into this offense as well, and so will Quinn Allen, who nobody seems to talk about either. So there's a lot of people in this room, and maybe the answer in this room, coaches, draft nobody.
Hmm.
That could also
Yeah,
be
very
the answer,
possible.
but
Yeah,
it's
and
hard not to.
don't reach super high for
Yeah.
anybody. Yeah, I mean, I would draft ETN. I mean, everything you're saying is right. I even was stashing in Dynasty LaQuinn Allen a couple weeks ago. I've drafted Tootin several times, hoping he's going to be something. He still could be, but yeah, I mean, ETN looks like the guy. Everything seems to be kind of him and Bigsby in a split, similar to maybe Bucky and Rashad White with Cohen. They're something similar to that anyway.
Yeah, and that's my thing too. That we know this offense likes to throw the football. The system likes to throw the football to running backs a lot. Well,
Hmm.
Trevor Lawrence, I don't know. That'll be the interesting thing. Is Trevor Lawrence going to be a guy that's going to take a lot of shots downfield, and maybe as opposed to Baker, instead of checking the ball down? Do we see that? And maybe not as much targets to the running back position